You may have heard the term Sigma male recently and been curious about what it meant. Most people think a Sigma male is just another name for an introverted guy or an alpha male, but that's not true. In fact, Sigma males are a different breed from all other males. So, what does a Sigma male mean? A Sigma male is a man who doesn't fit in with the rest of society. He doesn't follow the rules of society and instead goes his own way. People often think they are outcasts or lonely, but they are just independent thinkers. They have a mysterious air that makes women want to be with them. Sigma males have always been around, but in today's society, they are becoming more and more common. This is because we now live in a world where people are encouraged to be themselves and follow their own interests. So now that we've covered that, here are 10 reasons why Sigma male is popping everywhere. 1. The traditional alpha male is being replaced by the Sigma male. Alpha males have been in charge of the world for hundreds of years. The alpha has always been in charge because of his aggressive ways and loud personality. Things are changing though. In today's society, the number of Sigma males is growing. With his quiet confidence and independent spirit, the Sigma is quickly becoming the new leader of the pack, whether he wants to or not. People are naturally drawn to him because he has an inspiring vision and can think outside the box. The Sigma man is the perfect example of a man in the modern world. He is in touch with his feelings, listens more than he talks, and places more value on experiences than on things. He knows how to enjoy himself without getting caught up in the rat race. The world is changing, and the Sigma male is the one who is leading the way. The traditional alpha male model of success isn't as useful or appealing as it used to be. Traditional hierarchies are slowly falling apart, and Sigma males are doing well in this new environment. Many people are sick of being told to conform all the time by their bosses. They choose to live a more real life because the freedom that Sigma males have inspires them. The Sigma is making a name for himself quickly, which makes him a force to be taken seriously. So, what does this mean for what will happen? We'll have to wait and see. But one thing is certain, the Sigma male is not going anywhere. 2. It's hard to figure them out. The Sigma personality may be one of the hardest ones to figure out. Because they are neither beta nor alpha, it's hard to describe their actions and decisions because they don't fit our binary ideas of what it means to be dominant or submissive. People aren't used to seeing someone with such an unusual personality, which makes them curious and popular at the same time. The things that drive most people don't drive the Sigma man. They have no interest in power or status. They'd rather spend their time quietly thinking than actively looking for attention. This can make Sigmas seem distant or out of touch with the world. But in reality, they are just focused on their own inner journeys. They are always taking in new information and trying to figure out what's going on. This can be a little frustrating for people who don't know what they are saying. Sigma males live in their own heads, so they might not always tell you what they're thinking or planning, but that doesn't mean they don't think about you. Their cold behavior is just a way to keep the chaos of the world from getting to them. Once you get past their defenses, you'll find they are warm, caring, and kind. If you take the time to get to know them, you'll see that they are some of the most interesting and wise people you'll ever meet. 3. They don't mind being different. They don't try to fit into someone else's idea of what they should be like. Sigma men are happy with who they are and don't need to change to please others. This lets them be more real and genuine. Since they are very private people, there is a sense of mystery around them. Women are often attracted to Sigmas because of how mysterious they are. This makes them more attractive than the average alpha male who tries too hard to impress. Sigma men stand out even when they don't try, which puts them in the spotlight even when they aren't looking for it. Even though they like to stay out of the way, people often notice their unique personality. People are drawn to them as if they have an invisible magnetism. People are getting tired of fake people who just want to fit in, so they are becoming more popular. We want to connect with other people in a real way, and Sigmas are the perfect example of this. 4. They don't let anyone talk rubbish to them. Sigma males can't stand when other people talk nonsense or BS. If someone tries to take advantage of them or treat them badly, they won't think twice about showing that person who's boss. They have good boundaries and know how to stand up for themselves. In today's society, many people don't have this. We are so used to being used that we don't even notice when it happens. Sigmas are different because they won't let anyone else act like this. They know what they're worth and won't let anyone take advantage of them. One of the best things about them is that they do things like this. Some might think this is rude or aggressive, but it's actually a sign of strength and self-respect. Sigmas don't want to be doormats, and more people should follow their lead. There is, of course, a thin line between being strong-willed and being a jerk. Sigma men know how to walk on this line and never cross it. They're the perfect example of how to be firm without being rude. 5. They think for themselves. Sigma males don't follow the crowd blindly or take things for what they seem to be. Instead, they think for themselves and question everything. This lets them see the world in a unique and different way. This often puts them at odds with their peers who are happy with the way things are, but it also lets them see things that others miss. People who don't get Sigma men often don't like them because they don't understand them. This can be hard at times, but it's also what gives them the ability to inspire those around them. People will eventually come to appreciate their unique point of view, which will make them more popular over time. When people hear new and different ideas, it can make them question what they think they know and push them to grow. Even if Sigmas aren't liked at first, people will eventually respect and admire the way they think on their own. 6. They can easily adjust to new situations. Sigma males know how to adapt to different situations, while alpha males tend to be rigid and set in their ways. This makes it hard to pin them down because they are always changing. They are very good at understanding what people want and need. This gives them the chance to change how they act to better fit the situation. They are like chameleons and can quickly change to fit their environment. Sigmas are also good at solving problems because of their ability to change. They can look at a problem from different angles and come up with solutions that most people wouldn't think of. A Sigma man can be in charge if they need to be, but they don't need to be the leader in different social situations to feel good about themselves. Sigmas are more fluid and flexible than alpha males because they can fit into whatever role is needed at any given time. This makes them more likely to be successful in any situation. People around the Sigma male can be scared off by his confidence, which makes them think he wants to take over. But in reality, he's just trying to find the best way to get things done. 7. They accept their dark side. Sigma males don't mind showing their dark side. They are at ease with their shadows and understand that they are an important part of who they are. This helps them be more well-rounded and balanced people. Most people try to hide their dark side because they're afraid of it. This usually leads to inner chaos and conflict. Sigmas are different because they've learned to accept their dark side. This doesn't mean they're bad people, it just means they're real people. They don't try to hide their flaws or act like they're someone else. One of the most refreshing things about them is that they do this. Sigma men are often the best people to have as friends because they will always tell you the truth, even if it hurts. They aren't afraid to talk to you about your problems. This might not be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. They know that the only way to get better is to face your problems head-on. They are not afraid of the dark because it is an important part of life. We all have a dark side, and it's time to start being comfortable with it. Our shadows are a part of who we are and should be taken into account. Sigma men can teach us a lot about this very important part of who we are. 8. They like being alone, but they also care about other people. Sigma men will always like being alone and on their own. They are not the kind of people who need other people to feel whole. In fact, they often prefer being alone to being with other people. This doesn't mean Sigmas don't value other people. They just know that they don't need to be with other people all the time to be happy. They are not antisocial just because they like being alone. When the situation calls for it, they can be social just fine. They don't feel the need to be around people all the time. Sigma men are introverts who need time to think and be alone because people drain their energy, even if they care deeply about those people. Even though Sigmas may seem cut off from the rest of the world, they still know how important it is to have good people around them because they won't be able to reach all of their goals on their own. 9. They adhere to their own moral standards. Sigma men don't mind living by their own set of rules. They have a strong sense of right and wrong and always stick to it. Especially in today's world, this can be a very admirable trait. We hear many different moral codes all the time, which can be very confusing. Sigmas are unique because they know what is right and what is wrong. They have their own rules for how to live, and they don't let anyone else tell them what to do. One of the most freeing things about being a Sigma male is that you can do this. You are not limited by what other people want from you, and you can live your life however you want. This doesn't mean you should be a sociopath, but you should stay true to yourself. Your morals are what make you who you are. It is the basis for the rest of your life. Your life will be all over the place if you don't have a strong moral compass. Many people do not have a clear idea of what is right and wrong. They are easily influenced by their peers and often make decisions based on what is popular or socially acceptable. This is not how you should live. Sigma males aren't afraid to stand up for what they believe in, and they always stick to their guns. Everyone could use a little more moral strength. 10. They don't need other people's approval or validation. Our culture is obsessed with getting other people's approval. We are always looking for approval from our family, friends, and peers. This can be a very bad habit that causes a lot of stress on the inside. Sigma men aren't needy or dependent on other people. They don't need other people's validation or approval to feel good about themselves. Being needy is a sign of weakness, and Sigmas will not stand for it. They are sure of themselves and don't base their sense of self-worth on what other people think. This doesn't mean Sigma men are cocky or full of themselves. They just have a good opinion of themselves. Alpha males always want to be in the spotlight, but Sigmas are fine with staying in the background. Sigma men aren't shy. They're just quiet and don't like to be the center of attention.